Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Rachra. Hi! Today, we're going to be reacting to a video about the models on Gacha gaming. Normally, when I see a Gacha game and I see like a video of what they're showing, like their characters are going to look like, and then you go to the game, the character does not look the same as in the game. Like they show you like a full 3D model, super voluptuous, super beautiful. And when you're playing the game, it's just a chibi. So I want to see what Enigma has to say about it. Maybe this is what he's going to talk about it because that's the truth. The models in gacha games. Yeah, I think that's what he's going to talk. Let's see.
Defines the experience of the player.
Oh my god, I need
Is the
love.
model and
Oh, and
character
sorry
that
about
you'll
the
be
baby
playing with
noises.
for
My
the
son is having a
foreseeable future,
blast.
After all, there's nothing like staring into the blue eyes of your favorite character and looking at their assets while they run across the map. The accessories on their model, their hair, the way they move and interact with the environment, the way they run and their asses on full shit, I said it again. These are all things that players expect to be peak when they play their gacha games. For most games, such as Arknight's Olympus Company and Brown Desk 2, these in-game models are in the form of miniature versions of the characters. This is
He's talking about the thing that I thought that he was going to talk.
Is refined in this way, but you will still see that juicy PNG when you select your character.
Boom.
And as for Brown Dust 2, you get to see a hell of a lot more. But that aside, there's nothing more disappointing than going from this to this.
Oh,
The downgrade in quality is seriously disheartening.
I will say something. When I saw the video of Oviedo and I saw like all of the promotional stuff, I thought he was gonna be a tall model. When I saw what he ended up being, I was so disappointed. Like he had everything to look awesome as a tall person. Why did they had to come and make him a midget? I hated that.
Understand downplaying the model a little, but even Tecto would be terrified of the balding here. But then you have games like Wuthering Waves, who literally use the exact same in-game model for their cinematic movies and trailers for the characters.
Oh yeah, that's
Gone
true.
are the days where you lose 50% of your bone density when you transition from a trailer to a model.
Ito Noodle Arms is nobody's ever gonna forget about that. Nobody. I mean, wow.
We are finally in the golden age of game models. Like, you cannot tell me that this NCP is in this wonderful game. He has more expressions than the entire cast combined.
Oh yeah, he
for
does.
Videoverse. Starbuck, you are truly the MVP of the 2.1.
Yeah. When I saw his name, I was laughing because it's Starbuck, okay? And then, yes, he does have more expressions than every other game. Like other games, they don't do nothing.
One patch, and no one can prove the otherwise. My name is VoidEnigma, and I'll be going over just how impactful the in-game models for gacha games are, and how Wuthering Waves transformed the direction for these models. Whether it's in trailers, cinematic cutscenes, or just general gameplay, and most importantly, the in-game story quests. We'll be discussing why the betrayal of facial expressions and emotions on these characters is a betrayal of the character themselves, and why certain gacha games are acknowledging that it is indeed boring to sit through 8 hours of dialogue with static interactions between the characters. But before that,
And it is awesome the way that they have done it.
Have you seen these champions?
Oh,
Alice in Wonderland is coming to
I'm
Raid
eating
Shadow Legends, and I'm
eating it.
More excited. I was skeptical at first, but the strategy and depth in this game actually won me over. From the hundreds of unique bosses to endless gameplay options, including PvP where you actually get to control your own champion, Raid literally has it all. To help you get started, download Raid now using my link in the description or the QR code on screen to get 2 epic heroes. Tagore when you start your journey, and Ugo when you reach level 15, which you could literally do in the first day. But what's a great start without a great champion? Use the promo code
Monkey King
within 48 hours to claim the amazing legendary hero to dominate the early game. And now is the perfect time to join. You'll be able to log in for 7 days during the Alice's Adventure event and get Alice the Wanderer, a legendary champion, completely free. She is a nuker who you'll be able to decimate the bosses with. This event has so many rewards for new players as well, so you don't want to miss out. I'm running this channel all on my own, from thumbnails to recording and editing, and it's thanks to sponsors like...
I played Raid Shadow Legends for a bit, and the early game is a little hard. I think if they're gonna give that character for free, it's gonna make new players have a lot of easier time. I'm sorry, I'm not sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends, but I did play the game for a bit and I left because it was so hard, and then I couldn't understand it. But like, I can see Alice's character, if she's for free, it's gonna be huge. Anyways,
like this,
sorry,
I'm able to keep bringing you all great content. You can support the channel simply by using my link in the description or the QR code on screen and download Raid Shadow Legends today. So go ahead and try Raid through my link or QR code to start your Raid journey today. Alright, let's get right back to the video.
Actually awesome.
Before we talk about the 3D renders of Gacha games, let's talk about the representatives of the 2D models of Gacha games, such as the aforementioned Arknights, Limbus Company, and Brown Dust 2, or any other game with this specific model. The beauty of these types of models is that it's reminiscent of a certain gameplay that we grew up with. It's an easy way to make a great game without having to have spectacular 3D renders, yet it still requires the effort to make these characters look smooth and feel smooth. You won't find people complaining much about these models. Additionally, you have stories in these games, and they do a very good job of showing the emotion with voice acting and the reactions of the characters and sound effects. It's crazy to think that a game like Limbus Company, a 2D game with static models and mostly static reaction sound effects and Korean dub, has more fun and life in their story than Honkai Star Rail, despite Star Rail having the potential of all of their characters to look alive. They also offer their own take on cinematic cutscenes, which is very unique, and I love seeing them every time. Each game does this in their own way, and it's just like an old school nice
but I found it so boring though.
For the budget of these models, they do a lot. And of course, the actual PNG that we see of the character is immaculate.
No shade to anybody that plays Brown Dust. I have personal preferences. There are games that I like, there are games that I don't like. I play Summoner's War. A lot of people don't like Summoner's War, but I still play it.
These characters have some of the finest details in Gacha gaming. Another thing that I want to talk about is the ultimate animation for games like Nikke and Brown Dust 2. Let me just show you. Yeah, that's 90% of the reason why I play these games here. The attention to detail is what keeps players
no shame
involved.
in that.
Not the loot stuff. I mean, everything that I talked about in this section of the video. The transformation from art and trailer of these characters to the in-game models is often a very dissatisfying feeling for most Gacha games. It takes a lot to bring a 3D model to life, and more often than not, you'd rather just watch the trailer than actually play the in-game characters. This is most evident, of course, in games like Genshin Impact, where the models of these characters fail in comparison to their trailers and their art. Characters like Yae Miko, Itto, Diluc, Albedo are butchered when they're rendered in game. Most people just accept this fact. It's just how the models are supposed to be, right? Well, that's wrong. Even Honkai Star Rail, despite their characters being much more dynamic than Genshin Impact, still have a severe lack of diversity between their casts, like female character number 3 looks exactly like female character number 13. One thing I will say is, I don't play ZZZ, but their models in-game look absolutely fantastic.
Oh, they do.
When I checked out the gameplay, especially when comparing their appearances in the trailers to their in-game models, I can say that I was pretty impressed. I don't know how the actual story looks and if they still display emotion and facial expressions in the story.
Oh, they do.
Let me know down in the comments if that's the case for Zenless Zone Zero. Nikke also does an excellent job of transitioning their characters.
I really like
model.
Zenless Zone Zero.
Nikke, that's their whole game. I played this game back when Rem and Emilia were introduced, and sadly, Rem's model is somewhat jarring, along with Emilia not being able to show her cake. Wuthering Waves, however, does something phenomenal. The in-game models don't lose 8 layers of hair when you actually display them in-game. The in-game character doesn't transform into Dungeon number 22. The in-game characters look and feel alive. Like, these Wuthering Waves characters are so alive that the women in the game can't contain their accelerated heartbeat. So that's why the jiggle physics are so intense in this game. I know, I just solved some major lore for you here, so just let that sink in. Wuthering Waves having abnormal jiggle physics to please the Gooners? Absolutely yes. I mean, not. Absolutely not. The fact that they use the in-game engine and models for their cutscenes and trailers truly speaks to the definition of their immaculate in-game models. Of course, this is made to look spectacular.
We're glazing woo, okay?
And close-ups and maybe some post-production art,
but it is true. The characters look like the cutscenes.
We can rest assured that
they look good.
In 5 to 10 years from now, the game will still look incredible. And to bring it all together, I can fly in the air and stare at my character's booty. Not because I want to, but because the devs decided that needlessly censoring the in-game characters is pointless. You can go ahead and uncensor your support by liking this video and hitting that subscribe button to support the channel and keep these videos coming your way. I don't care where you come from, or what background you have, or your stance on censorship, but censorship in a video game is cringe. These characters are already very safe for work in game. I mean, everyone has a butt, everyone has a chest, so what if some look better than others? I'm not complaining. In other games, we have different
they all look different.
Blurring the backs of the characters when they're underwater, and I can't even climb without looking at the backside of the characters without them just disappearing. It's just annoying.
You can't fly. In other games, you can't fly.
Yeah, they really are. And they should be allowed to view and see their characters as they appear in-game. The ridiculous censorship is quite frankly pointless. I'm really happy that Zenless is made for a more mature audience and they are
Zenless is huge. I love it.
It would be much better if instead of actually censoring the characters, you have something like what they do in the Nier series. 2B and Kaine. If you want to look up 2B's skirt, she won't let you. She'll turn away and set the boundaries. Hey, don't look up there. If you want to look up Kaine's skirt, you get your ass beat. And if you continue to try,
but people likes it.
Absolutely freaking kill you. Which is how things should be. A place where the models need
but it's fun.
Attention is in the in-game story quest. And my god, Honkai Star Rail really screwed this up. 8-hour story quest. Fine, it's a Hoyo game.
No.
We're all used to it.
I play Honkai Star Rail for a bit to get the character that I like.
Quest. We're used to it.
And then I had to leave because
combined with black screens.
It was just black screen, motionless. Walk here, talk there, nothing. Just like staring, move your head here, move your head there. That's all. I couldn't bear it. I couldn't play a second more of the game.
Plus, the characters have zero facial expressions or reactions or even basic movements on screen. Yeah, that's unforgivable. I play Star Rail, and I have a well-established account, but I quit recently because I couldn't get into the 3.0 story quest. The quest was just, my god, boring.
The only way they can fix this is that in a new patch, they will make it all awesome and add a skip button. So I can skip all of the boring part that nobody wants to see because nobody wants to read this part of the story. Get us to a new area and please make the characters feel alive because this was boring. Super boring. Because I know they're not going to go back into the story and fix it and make the characters move again. What they're going to do is that they might not even fix anything. What am I complaining about? I don't know. They might not even fix it.
I'll eventually get back into it, as I always do, but I could not convince myself to sit through a Hoyo quest with zero effort put in there. Plus, most of it is not even voice acted, especially the likes of Robin.
Ooh.
I actually didn't even play the Robin and Sunday quest yet. I'm here to play a game, not listen to a novel. I listen to audiobooks when I'm doing a long car ride or when I'm doing tasks like cleaning, tasks that require zero input from me. However, these games have a strenuous process of, hey, are you there? Choose nonsense option 1 or nonsense option 2 to...
Are you there? Yeah, that's exactly what the game does. Hey, are you there? Are you listening to what I'm saying? Click here. Just make a voice act so that I can listen to it then.
And make sure that you're actually there. Sometimes these choices are actually just a normal response that you just read together anyways. If I gotta be present anyways to experience a story, then you better make sure that that story is a damn good experience. What's more bothersome is that in these stories, there is just minimal effort. In these story quests, you know exactly what reaction the character will have to certain situations. It's just a stock standard. Paimon says something that's supposed to be interpreted as funny, Traveler will put their hand on their head, and so on and so forth. Stock female number 22 is confused, she will have the exact same reaction. Stock male number 17, wait.
That's what they do.
Many men. Stock male number 6 is thinking, well, we know exactly what animation will play out.
They go
this
like,
works for a game that you play for 1 to 2 months. Eventually, though,
and like
with
this.
the sheer amount of story content and unskippable dialogue, most
and
of
like
which
this.
isn't even voiced,
Again.
like, come on. Eventually, you gotta create new things, right? In Wuthering Waves, you have Phoebe, who will bonk the goat Starbuck for being an absolute Chad. And we see the full animation.
She bunks him, exactly.
Caught by Rover, and we see the full animation. The models feel full of life. Speaking of models and Carlotta,
oh my god, that was awesome too. I loved it.
These devs failed to implement in their games. No changes.
They were dancing. They're not gonna tell you, oh, they are dancing. They are dancing, okay?
2 male models and 3 female models. That's it. The stock standard of exactly the same characters and interactions between these characters. Wuthering literally added a new model with Lumi, and to my surprise, Carlotta was the same model. I figured this out because when I attempted to do a backflip, she did not in fact do a backflip. She instead did the lolly hop back. I then examined just how many in-game models do we have. We have 4 female models, tall, medium, small, and lolly, and then for the men we have 2 models. Now you may be thinking, how do we have 2 male models? Well, you may not have noticed, but Shen Liao and Jian are actually 2 different sizes. I was surprised to find this out, as they look overall the same, right? But this model is fundamentally different. Crazy to think that Shen Liao is the same model idea as someone like Xiao from Genshin Impact. I do hope that they add more diversity to the models because we know that they aren't scared to add new models. Additionally, they don't have a macro for each of the models for their in-game scenes. Instead, the characters tend to have unique movements every time. Sure, there are still a few standouts that they're actually being reused, but Kuro Games aren't scared to actually think outside the box and create
I want more male characters. That's what I said.
It's more than just that, though. The characters aren't static. They feel alive, and they don't do the whole
black screen transition
at
thing.
least not anymore.
Wait. They have done the black screen 2 or 3 times. They do that. They have done it. But they are not doing it as much as other games.
I can still have some hope. The point of this video is to say that these companies make so much money. They should be doing their utmost effort to bring the best product.
Exactly.
It's baffling that they take shortcuts, displaying static images and the same expression over and over and over again. It feels a boring game with no innovation. Wuthering Waves is not a much better engine for the new era of gaming. However, this does.
Wuthering Waves has stepped up the game. That's what they have done. And I love it. And we should be praising Wuthering Waves.
Doesn't mean that their competitors should take these shortcuts.
They're the only motherfuckers that should be praised in this
money, nothing else matters, right? At least I know with Kuro Games, we will be able to get the best that the game has to offer, despite the money that they're making. Keep in mind, they're probably only making a fraction of what these other devs are making.
Yeah.
Not that it really matters, because at the end of the day, I'll play the game that I
making less money than the giant, and making a better game than the giant.
And subscribe for more animatic content. I have a ton of stuff coming your way, so stay tuned. This has been VoidEnigma, and until next time.
I hope everyone enjoyed that. I will leave Enigma's video on the description of this video. Please go like and subscribe his video because it was well done and well thought. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.